Radio check, radio check. Work is in the AO. Hello everybody, welcome to the stream. Like and join us today for another round of Motorsport Manager, which for some reason still isn't showing up. Why is it not showing up? Thank you so much for waiting. I am so sorry once again that I was a bit tardy. There you go, it finally showed up. I was supposed to come up on time, but I was running a bit late because I was finishing up on dishes, which I should have done faster and earlier. It was cold and it's kind of hard to maneuver anyway. At least we're here now, and we're gonna be running a bit long on this one. So a bit of an update. Last time we managed to get some pretty bad results in races 3 and 4 of the 2027 season. Dubai and Tondela weren't really too hot, as you might be seeing here. Because of that, we've dropped significantly to 3rd place. The chairman isn't exactly very happy with our condition right now. Singapore. Huh? Singapore? What? Singapore there. Well, anyway, our situation is pretty bad. Race management stats are going down. Financial will probably go down unless we can get some money back here now. Loyalty is still pretty good because we got good guys up. We've only got 1 podium out of 4 races, and none of them are top. And our drivers are going significantly lower. We need to get back into the headwinds. The road car factory is still 38 months away, so we can't really rely on that for money. And most of our parts, thankfully, are still stock, so we don't need to build up on these just yet. But we need to get back into things immediately. Hang on. We can't really do much about this now, but we can try as much as possible to get better results here in the Ardennes. Well, to do that, I'll be forced to restart if the performance of our drivers has a chance to drop towards the end of the actual race. I am trying as much as possible to get a series of good results so we can get back in the chairman's good graces and also get some more black in our get back some good titles in our get back some black in our money books, which is going to be a rough patch, especially since marketability is very low right now, 68.3%. Marketability for the team is down to 96. Perez is down to 79, and Judovic, being a pretty new driver, is down to 30, which means our sponsor appeal level is very, very low. We're going to need to work very hard just to get everything done. Reliability is good. Let them work up these. Reliability on that part. This could be much better for them, really. Yeah, that should be okay. Let's say that again. So our main agenda for today is get at least podium, if not pole, but get podium at the end of the Grand Prix and put Perez in the scoring sheet because she's currently a 13th. So as much as possible, we need to put them both in the top 7. Otherwise, we won't be able to do anything about their points. Because we need to be on 3rd, and since both of our drivers are pretty low on the score sheet right now, we can't really get up there. Jurovic is 8 points behind Gulias, while Perez is 12 points behind, which is really bad. Can't really get to that engine yet. I think we're good for now. Performance later. What? What's this about stuff? Okay, improving the car would be nice. Let's improve the performance of these two for next season. And it'll be 22 laps, which means there's a good chance we can do one stop for Ardennes. The problem is it's going to be a bit rainy. And, driver performance is a bit on the low side, which is kind of a sad sight for now. And they're still asking for a forecasting center, which I know would be helpful, but we don't have the resources for it right now. What? Sorry about that. Let me check something real quick, just something weird on my timeline. It's happening in Munich over in the World Motorsport Championship. Oh! Looks like Rossini is getting some good revenge now. As both of Steinman's drivers are not in the top three, it's a 1-3 finish for Rossini with Balcazar on top and Hosted closing out third. Pascal Becker snatches a surprising second place win for Panther, but that's not enough to put him in the top 7 as he only gets his first points this race. He's currently in 8th. Where are these Rossini drivers? Oh wait, no, I'm talking about Steinman. Steinman would be Tarasenko and Naito. Naito didn't score any points at all, finishing at 6th. So Tarasenko is 8th, just 2 points behind him in 8th. Not a good run for Steinman here. And now Scuderia Rossini snatches first with just a very thin 1-point lead over the rivals. Will be interesting to see how it goes. Ugh, we're getting outpaced and sponsors by the other guys. Yes, the chairman is very angry. Yes, sir. I get you, sir. Now here we are in the Ardennes. Remember, we will have 2. Fortunately, ZRT Autosport is in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, I think. No, it's still in the ERS, but I don't know if they're going to be okay with us. I wonder if they're going to be able to talk to it. Erratic Schmutzer budding musician. Marketability is only temporary, but it's still higher than our current driver. Her stats are much better than ours. Anyway, let's set things up. 2nd or above? Can we do it at 2nd or above? We'll see how things go from here. It's going to be annoying. It's imperative that we win here. Unfortunately, we don't have the luxury of space, so we'll just have to restart. Oops, sorry. So remember, the main objective here is to get the sponsor's objective and at least get both of them on, or at least get both of them on table. But the money is the main issue, so I really want to at least go for durability. Okay, so it's gonna be durability, and then we'll go for speed. Bit of stuff. Okay, we're going for softs only, as the usual. Oh, okay, we can probably handle things from here with just the softs. Guess a bit more downforce would be enough. Switch back to softs as well. That should be enough. And let's take practice. I know it's wet. We'll see if things are affected in the long run for now. This is, after all, a run that's going to have a lot of restarts. At least for this, we call it, for this stream. There you go. That's the word we're looking for. So let's try as much as possible to get things done right. I don't want to lose the chance to finish at least on the top of the box with just a one-stop race. I know it's going to be annoying. And I really feel like if we can maintain endurance over speed, things will be hang on, what? About that, just something weird on my feed. Okay, let's go ahead and practice. So it's like everybody else has, there's at least half of the grid in inters for some reason. But I guess that's understandable since it seems to be going wet for another run. I can guess that some of these guys are the ones with the forecasting center on, which is why they have it up on that. But it looks like the road isn't that wet that we're gonna have to worry about switching to inters. At least until the half part of the halfway mark of practice is over. Let's see how bad things are. Still no communications from both of our drivers, and everybody else has switched to inters as well. Okay, gear racers are just right on Jurdovic's side of things. Run longer ratios, she says. Okay, let's let her do one lap, and then we'll send her into the pit lane after that. Road wetness seems to be going weaker, actually. Around the halfway mark, it's going to be a bit dry. Hang on. It clearly shows that our drivers are getting easily overwhelmed because they're using slicks on wet roads, but it looks like halfway through they'll be able to fix things a bit. I'll send Arioleinit in now, maybe, or let her finish through. Let her finish her stints, maybe, and then we'll send them in around the halfway mark so that we can fix them simultaneously. And as it appears, yeah, our times are definitely going to be terrible because they're driving on wets. 5 seconds, actually. Ugh. Weather seems to be improving at around the halfway mark at least, so no need to switch out to inters. Although inter performance will definitely take a hit if it starts raining in the actual race, since we're not training on inters yet. Soft tires aren't exactly working well in the wets, obviously. Hopefully things will change as soon as we hit the 6-minute mark. Okay, looks like Adeolena's problem is that she's just rolling on terrible shifting right now. So if we can get the speed balance a bit more more efficiently with her, things might be easier. I'm gonna send her in now. Jurnovic still has a decent amount there. Things might be a little too clean here. Hopefully we can fix things up as soon as she gets out so we can get back into proprietary timesheets again. Not too confident with that though, especially around here in this particular downhill hairpin. There's the home chicane. Yep, speed balance is poor, everything else is bad. She needs longer gear ratios apparently, so that's going to be a bit of a rundown. Slightly longer would be nice. Okay, just keep the stiffness as it is and keep the same tires in. Jurnovic is now first since she's the one using softs while everybody else is in inters, which is pretty nice. Track rep seems to be okay until the last minute, though I don't think that's going to be the case later on. Jurnovic still getting some good sector runs there, as you can clearly see with the purples. Adeolena's still on her outlap, so we don't know how she's going to perform with only 4 minutes and 15 seconds left in practice. Despite this 3-second gap, it really worries me how much better the other drivers are compared to our fresh recruit, who's still got a lot of potential. Kind of annoying, really. Jurnovic with 3 sectors boost, and she's heading in for the in-lap. Here's hoping her setup is okay, and we only need to tune her a bit, just a bit. Adeolena starting a new flying lap. Personal best sector. Speed balance right on the money. That's reassuring somewhat. But we still need to work our way through the run here. And it's got 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in practice, so not enough time to tweak everything, and also not enough time to get soft tires to level 3, I fear. There's going to be a bit of wetness towards the end there. Yep, speed balance still needs some work, though. Question is, do we want it to be speedier, or... Okay, she wants it to be speedier. Just a bit speedier, maybe. Keep the same amount of stints. Race trim will be okay, it's just the tire performance that I'm really worried about, mostly because we had to handle the inters and all that. But here's hoping it actually stays dry in the race and not get wet and all that. Otherwise, we're done for. Jurnovic needs to get her setup knowledge faster. Last minute rain. Dang it! That means we won't be able to get level 3 at all. Bit of a shame, that. Guessing it's gonna be real wet towards the end there, or I mean towards the race, which means we definitely need it to restart this run. We'll have to see if things actually change and all that as we end practice with only a 0.3 of a second lead over the other drivers. Not exactly encouraging on that front. Which is kind of a shame. Not very encouraging that either. Braking issues at the chicane there. which is concerning because that's an easy overtake zone. We've seen that a couple of times in previous seasons. If our drivers can't properly defend in that particular chicane, they'll be done for rather easily here. Come on, get the setup knowledge up. Oh, can we still get it to level 3? Maybe not. That's pretty much the home corner right there. Ooh! They still got it to level 3. That's nice. Yeah, see, point just 0.3 of a second. Uh, I don't feel confident about this. Okay, it seems like it's going to be dry, but I'm not very confident. Not very confident about the weather. But let's just go for this. I know we should be focusing on getting better gas, but I'm not too confident about it. Wait, let's go for endurance. Once we get enough endurance, we'll be rolling with the fast cars. Do I want to carry half the fuel? Going to be 22 laps. Yeah, let's go for 13 laps of fuel. Since we're going to be cheating around that part. My choice, keep it soft. Fuel should also be 13 laps. We'll just refuel towards the end. Let's see if it changes anything. Engine mode should be high. Probably means I might have to... My choice, okay. Get me at least 1 extra lap of fuel for both of them. So it's gonna be 14 laps of fuel. Instead of 18. Alright, here we go. Alright. Give him auto on. I know it's not exactly ideal, especially since the other drivers go for the ERS overtake around 2nd or 3rd lap. But I trust my drivers to do better in this. Though that late acceleration from both of them wasn't exactly up to snuff. Not a good sign for Jodovic, as she is now down to 16th. Perez is holding steady at 7th, but could sure use some more pushing. And unfortunately, because she's pretty much going down in skill rates, I think this is going to be a bit of a problem once she goes into mainline driving. I don't know if she can... How shall we say this? I don't know if she can keep things as they are for at least 2 more seasons, or at least this season and the next. And I'd really hate to lose a mentor-type driver, but her stats aren't that good. Or at least not good anymore. And even with the late braking. Yeah, the ERS overtake issue is annoying, and that's making things very bad for our drivers as far as staying on top is concerned. Can't get past Reeves. Now Perez has gone down to 11 as everybody else has overtaken her. Kind of annoying that, with Jodovic in the back as well, like way back in 20th, 9 seconds behind. I'm really not a fan of this ERS thing. These driver aids are making it much more difficult for me to handle the management of stuff. Especially since even if we have better engines, our drivers don't seem to have the ability to handle the ERS that efficiently. And the chairman expecting us to finish third or above at the end of the season is pretty much giving us even more of a headache. Mostly because we did come down from the from the Asia Pacific Super Cup, and since we were ERS champions for at least one season, the chairman expected us to maintain that pace after getting demoted. But still, with how the tech has pretty much left us behind, we're definitely gonna need some more work done. Ooh, good overtake on that hairpin. Hopefully she can get somewhere out of that, though, as we start lap 4, and still in the back. No sign of points here, and if we suffer at this rate, we're definitely going down to 8th. The chairman is definitely going to cut us off. I don't like that. Judovic having trouble defending her position. Now she's down to 19th. Perez now in 10th. Still 10th, that is. It's like durability is starting to be an issue, so we might have to push the tires up a bit. Even with their entire smoothness stats, these drivers are having a troubling time keeping the tire wear up, or rather, tire temperatures up. If only we can actually go for more powerful engine runs. I could probably try, but 18 laps to go. Start lap 5. Tire wear starting to be a problem. There's Perez now in 9th. Goodrich up to 16th again. I don't think she can keep it in 9th though. Yes. Lormore still blocking her. Dang it. Not exactly getting any speed out of that, which is kind of annoying. Coming out of this series of S-curves. And now Judovic is struggling to get past Balkan. Not exactly a good look for us so far. The top 6 are already breaking away as we start lap 6. Although we're seeing a lot more tire wear on their side of the road. Well, for this one, I think we could probably go for endurance and then we'll go for speed. But if we restart, we could probably go for speed instead of endurance. The problem is the weather. Since we don't have a forecasting center, we can't tell if they're going for wet or not. Now there's Norland on top, with Ramsey going down 0.5 of a second behind. Perez still in 8th. A lot of work there. Judovic back to 15th. You know, even with the charging efficiency on our ERS, we really can't make the most out of it because our power is a bit low. We're starting lap 7 already. 7 more laps on the fuel for both of our drivers. Tire wear, not too much of a problem so far. I definitely need to switch things up as soon as I am able. Still pointless on our side of things. Unless we get anything out of Judovic's side of spots, we won't be able to get any more points. Come on, Perez. I know you can do better than this. Come down on that downhill hairpin again. Meanwhile, Judovic stuck behind Da Silva Melo. 1 second behind, in fact. And couldn't get that overtake at the last second, which is kind of annoying. Now, tires are still good. Ooh, good overtake there on Perez, but she's having trouble keeping Bohi away. Her braking, despite being a late braking type, isn't exactly doing her any magic so far. Is Judovic at 13th. Bit of a change up front. Perez could probably be in the box now. Probably. Nope, still no points on our side. 44% left on our tires there. Trying to slow things down a bit. 14 laps to go. No, keep driving. We can refuel as soon as you're able. Seventh place. Although the top 4 here, just below the leading drivers, are a bit packed up. There's Judovic at 12. Perez almost got past Hornblood. Finally got it on the downhill on that slow corner. Looks like Hornblood's going in for a pit lane change already. Oh wait, that's Funker. Still got a decent amount of fuel left, but we'll have to send Perez in first. The important thing here is that we can keep him durable for at least 2 more laps as we start lap 10. There's Perez, she's now in 4th. I don't know if going for going for softs before driving with super softs was a good idea, especially since it looks like those going in for pits are for durability over speed, so there's a good chance we might have made a mistake, a very crucial one at that, which means we'll definitely have to restart this run. But we need both of our drivers in the scoreboard now, otherwise we're done for. There's Perez, down to 5th after getting overtaken by Kohi. Big Chu ran wide. Ew, that's not a good sign. Oh, we just need to push up on speed up. And there's Perez back and forth again. Now she's in 3rd. Start of lap 11. We'll definitely have to switch her out soon-ish. Maybe at the end of this season, at the end of this course. Switching her on to Super Sauce for this one. Okay. 9 laps of fuel. I need to recharge the battery. Can't really go in fast because our the crew's tired. Jurovic is now in 7th. Now, if we can only keep this momentum, unfortunately, because we did this at a very late time and we didn't get any good pace out there, we'll definitely have to, how shall we say this? Definitely have to adjust things as they are. We might have to restart and switch over the tires from softs to super softs while we but we will maintain durability later. So we'll have to see if things could change, or if we can get a reversal of fortunes here, so to speak. As Ramsey is now on top, although he's now down to 23% on his tires, and might need to change things up as soon as she is able. And now that's Jurovic going down steadily in the numbers. No error so far, but yeah, the speed is a bit on the low one there. And Jurovic will have to switch out. Parts conditions, recharge, no need to recharge. Pit strategy, okay. Jurovic will have to work. Oh, we'll have her work cut out for her here. I did say softs, right? Softs. No, super softs. Get her an extra 10 laps. Fix that. Unfortunately, Perez has a lot of work cut out for her, as she is now down to 14th. Jurovic needs to step up the game. Cripes. Conserve the tires a bit. They're getting a little too hot now. I'm hoping Ramsey is also... Okay, Ramsey's also pitting, so is Kohi. So I think since they have better pit crews than us, they will be faster. That is the problem. Our pit crew managers aren't exactly up to snuff right now, mostly because the mechanics don't have a good pit crew setup, at least in terms of skills. So we need a lot of work to get that back up. Definitely have to restart this. Jovic is down to 13th. Perez is down to 10th. Lot of work for the Frenchie over here. And we need to work definitely because we're still second, 6th, and I want it to be. We want our drivers to be running much faster than this, so we can at least get them both on the scoreboard, if not on the sponsor objective. But I'd really love to get some sponsor objectives up here, just so we can get the numbers up again. Judovic needs to work her way up too. 9 laps remaining. We'd probably do some more work out here. Perez is now in 5th. Judovic only in 12th by the looks of it. Oh, she's in 10th. That's good enough. But she needs to work out faster if she wants to be in the scoreboard as well. We're now down to 7th. We need to get ahead of everybody up front. Reeves and Bingham could be switching out in the next lap or two, but we need to keep our drivers in the road for that. And that means keeping the tires conserved as we now approach lap 15. Perez still in 5th. Ramsey going for a boost, trying to get through and close in with Perez. He's now really close. Judovic now down to 11th after a bad overtake. Picerni ahead of her by only a second. Perez with a good chance to get into the top 3 here. We just need to boost her a bit more. Yep, 8 laps to go and Perez is now 3rd. Judovic is only 10th, failing to get past Reeves. Wasting a good amount of her electricity for that one. Wait, what? Hornblatt and Norland for durability, but can Perez make the most out of her speed now that she's close to him? Switching over to neutrals for this one. Good chance for Perez to at least snatch first if she's a bit... Oh, Hornblatt has some parts issues, it looks like. Good chance for Perez to snatch a overtake here if she's she's a bit more aggressive, so to speak. But Ramsey is just a few seconds behind her, and that's gonna put her in a bit of a risk point. Judovic still in 10th. Got a lot of work to do just to get back in things. It's only 7 laps to go. Can they keep it up? Perez almost got 2nd. Couldn't get past that chicane. Couldn't get past that overtake on that chicane. Judovic has gone up to 9th. Perez approaching the chicane, failing that. Picerni getting past Judovic out of nowhere. And there goes Hornblatt. With Perez only with a slight lead. She needs to get past Norland just to get things up rolling, though. While Judovic is still struggling in the back there, which is a bit of an issue. Almost got an overtake there for Perez, just couldn't keep it to go. And now Norland is getting away again. 6 laps to go, and Judovic is still stuck in the back. She needs to work her way up now. Perez still struggling to get past Norland here. And now Judovic is trying to get past Picerni. If we can keep Perez up front, there's a good chance we can stay in 2nd, or at least go up to 4th. And Judovic is still behind Picerni here. Perez almost getting past Norland. Almost, and there she is. She just needs to keep it. No, she could not. Norland managed to get back at it at the end of that S-curve. Now approaching the downhill chicane. Can Perez stay with it? We've only got 7 laps to go, I think. No, it's 5 laps to go, and Perez is still struggling to stay in first. There she is. She's gone past Norland, but can she keep it up? Is the question. I don't think she can actually. Tire wear might be an issue here. We might have to push her a bit, or maybe not. Just keep it in neutral for now. Norland might have tire issues now. Now we just need Judovic to get into the scoreboard as well. Judovic is still at 55% tire conditions. Uh-oh, it's starting to get cloudy. Oh, never mind. Looks like it's going to be dry. Judovic just needs to push and go. Perez getting some gaps now with just a second ahead of Norland and 2 seconds ahead of Ramsey. You can probably watch Judovic for the time being and use her power to get into it. We need to be in top 6 to get some points in. And now it's only 4 laps remaining, and Perez might be having her first pole win of the race if she can keep this. We just need Judovic up on the points so we can get more numbers up. Perez only 0.06 of a second slower in this sector from her previous run. Judovic struggling still to get past Picerni. Perez still keeping it steady, but with only 0.8 of a second of a distance with Norland. Not looking too good for the Frenchie. Norland getting real close now. Norland trying to push his tires to the limit. Judovic might need some more boosting on this part of the road. While Judovic is still stuck in the back here. 3 laps to go. Still a bit of time to roll with it. But Perez is now down to 38. And I'm not too confident she can keep it. We might have to push the tires a bit towards the last lap of the race. Judovic still needs to get some work up so she can get back into the scoring sheets, and I don't think she can do that right now. So unless Perez doesn't lose her head, there's a good chance we can keep things as they are right now. Come on! Dang it! Judovic still struggling to get over there for some reason. Can't get past Picerni on that roll. Really having a hard time here. She brakes a little too early. Not exactly a good sign for our Swedish driver. She's up to 8th at least. But she needs some more work just to get things up to go as we approach the last 2 laps. Perez is now down to 28% on her tires. That's Hornblatt still having parts issues. Come on, Judovic. You can do this, mate. 25% for Perez. Thankfully, the tire temperature is still pretty decent. And now she's down to 9th again. Come on. Judovic just can't overtake on the inside well enough to effectively score a win. Still need a bit of go, and it's now the final lap. Can Perez keep it? I don't think she can, actually. She needs to boost it out of the way now. And now we'll have to wait for this to go on. Judovic will have to defend 7th for the time being. And we'll have to use the ERS to keep Perez ahead as much as possible. I'm not feeling confident about this. Come on, come on. Judovic still at 7th. I don't think she can score for this one. But Perez might be going in to snatch her first pole of the season. Holy smokes, that was a snatcher. That was a real nail-biter there. Judovic scoring the 7th spot, though that means she didn't get any points here. But at the very least, we managed to get back in the top 3. A bit of a nail-biter, that. But I think the chairman will be very happy for that performance. We lucked out on that one, managing to stay in it thanks to some decent performance from the soft tires. Oh god, that was too close for comfort. Too close, I tell you. But that will definitely get us back in the chairman's good graces, and we also get some green out of it, hopefully. So that's gonna hopefully bring us back in the black as far as money is concerned. Let's see those parts issues. Nothing on our end, yes? Okay. Yep. We got first on that, managing to beat Ozu and Vexala, who are top contenders here. Ooh, that smoothness, though. What? No focus? Yep. Judovic will go down to 10th, but Perez will jump up to 2nd. Surprisingly, we're now 2nd in the team championship standings. Paired with Archer BMR. Hang on a second. Hang on a second, I just saw something weird on my feed. Yep, that was funny. Anyway. Pretty good finish there so far. We actually managed to keep Perez in the road, despite the fact that she has less of a she has less durability rather. She has less of a performance work with her tires, which means that, yeah. She can't really drive much better than Judovic in terms of tire durability, but thanks to the work put in by Ario Lenet, we managed to get the most out of the soft tires, so she managed to get some more speed despite the fact that she's using the slower tires at the start there. I should have placed a bet. I know how you feel. I know how you feel. She's being carried by Watson Industries. So obvious. I mean, yeah, she's pretty much going down in stats, though. Fortunately. Bit of a shame that we couldn't get Judovic up into the scoreboards with 2 more places so that she can at least stay in at least 6th, if not 7th. But that's the nature of the beast, after all. Chairman's gonna be really happy about those numbers, at least, and it looks like we're getting some good stats up. The marketability is only still 69. Chairman's a bit happier now since we came first. Please tell me I'm getting back in the black. Yes! Yes, we got some greens back. Let's go! Oh, up in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, Tia Nuna scores first for Thornton Motorsport. Rezato Corza gets in through Dustin Nilo, and MRT Valbuena rounds up the podium through Cyril Boissu. Oh man, Boissu. Who's the guys who jumped up for this one? Esprit getting some points in. That's Esteva with 5 points. Although her teammate... Oh, Sylvander is actually up on 3rd right now in the team standings. That's actually a pretty big difference from last season. But Risato Corsa is still on 1st, and Esprit is now on 3rd. Quite the jump for the team. That's us right there. Good work from Perez, but she's definitely in need. She's definitely in need of a rest because she is pretty much going down. And we were lucky that our staff, or our pit staff, didn't exactly throw out an error or two. That would have been annoying. Still the worst drivers in the league, though. Worst pit crew, worst sponsors. It's currently auto-managed. Her pit stops are getting better, though. If we can get her up further and faster, we can definitely get something out of that. Ooh. Owashi seems nice. Can we hire him? Auto-manage off a bit. I want to swap Takemura for somebody who's fresh. Hirohara also needs a bit of a swap out. Hasogai? No, it's Hosogai. Hosogai, super. Okay, Idota. I know you're not gonna be good with tires for now. Front jack. Okay, Sekia might be nice. Rear jack 6. Okay, we'll go with that, and then we'll go back to auto management. Okay, let's see the news. 34 and 34, not bad actually. Okay, well. Oh, that's not good. Okay, it didn't really do much. 10 seconds slower because we added the refueling. If we actually got, if we maintained that performance and we picked up Pit Stop Guru, we might have gotten more gaps earlier for Perez, but I think you can't really use both of them at the same time, and we can't really consider it a win through if we actually just focus on faster fuel stops, at least at the current condition that we have. Now let's look at our drivers. Perez has peaked, unfortunately. Thanks to her age, she has not gone down yet. It's just that her stats are peaking, and we can't really do much about that. Marketability is 79% at least. Judovic is getting 5% a week on her stats, which is very nice. Increased consistency and smoothness would be absolutely great. Her overtaking skills are currently getting a 4% boost thanks to Test Track and Perez's support. And she's now up to 3 stars. Just need her to be on the rollout. Super overtake mode is very risky, to be honest. Bit more work on fitness there. Rio Leonette is also getting some more works up here. She's still pretty young, 23 at that. Her fitness is great. Feedback is awesome. Just needs to work a bit more on smoothness and probably cornering. Consistency, definitely going up there in the ranks. If she can get things up, we might switch her out. Or we might switch her back to Perez. Switch her out with Perez. No, they're running on the same amount of months though. So I think I can still keep her in the driver's seat if I want to. Problem is, Leonette is great as a feedback reserve driver, even though she's not exactly a paid driver, but the problem is she doesn't have any stats that can help her. And because we have only got one paid driver on staff, we can't really make a lot of money. Matilda Judovic also has the issue with having no driver traits. Thankfully, we managed to get rid of her cult driver traits, so she's getting better in focusing. But the problem is she doesn't have any support traits that can improve her capabilities right now, which is a bit of a problem. 35 weeks to go for the Road Car Factory. Won't be feeling any of that until next season. And I don't want to invest in any more new parts right now, since we can't really go for epic. Probably third and second in top speed, which means we're now getting left behind. Our repair is complete. Now we can improve the capabilities of our sponsor line. Let's see who's offering. Squilladoo, they don't have any upfront, but they have bonuses. Acus has bonuses, and you just need to be 6 or above. And the upfront payment is 750,000. I think I'll go with these guys first. So bonus payment seems nice, but I think I'll go with this since I really need the injection, the upfront injection right now, just to keep us in the green. National management has gone down because we went at red. We need to make the chairman happier, so let's hope we can get something good out of this. Okay, continue on. Another sponsor offer. Let's see what we've got. Deutsche Air has no upfront payment, but they can offer us 300,000 bonus payment per race if we finish 11th or above. RusJet has an upfront payment, but the only bonus they have is 75,000. I need the injection though, so I'm gonna accept the lower sponsor deal. We can always build our numbers up as we get back up in the rankings, as long as the marketing works. Heck no! I will keep the brakes in stock until we can focus on recouping any losses. Oh, this is about to make a picture. Press are spreading some vicious and nonsensical rumors that the GMA are running something called an offshore slush fund. Obviously, it's pure nonsense, but I greatly appreciate some public support against these claims. Having me as a friend in the boardroom could do wonders for your career. Nah, it doesn't sound too preposterous, Chairman. Sorry. And unfortunately for you, I do have a lot more voting power in the pocket. Although that's going to be the last of my run. I can probably vote against. Yes, vote against. Let's see if they agree to this. I don't want to waste 3 of my last voting power reserves just for people to go. Yeah, let's not use stock breaks next season. I don't think it will benefit me if they switch back to breaks development next year, especially since I'm still rebuilding my financial base. Ooh, that was close. That was too close for comfort. At least the breaks have now been rejected. Let's see if there's anything that has been set up for next year. Nope. Nothing else. Nothing else. That's good. Let's make this another voteless season, shall we? Okay, Cape Town rolling. Let's see how that works. We're still improving the performance of these guys. 8 days after the race. Ugh. She needs to work on that. Her stats for performance boost is pretty low. It's 7. Takanabe is better for that. But he's got better reliability stats than Jessica as well. If we can get Jessica's stats a bit higher, though, there's a good chance we can improve the speed of performance fixes quite quickly. Now everything is running in Cape Town. Let's see how that goes. Rossini is getting a lot of numbers up here. And now they're really starting to pull away from Steinman. Not looking good for Steinman here. With Koivilainen in 4th and Naito in 5th, failing to get into the podium, with Makarova from Windsor blocking both of the Steinman teams. For Esperanza, Velan Racing, Van Dort, and Chariot are the only scoreless drivers, or the only scoreless teams this season. A pretty bad run for them so far. Now we're in Munich. I don't really trust the capabilities of our cars right now. Hopefully it'll be another one-stop race and we could probably bluff our way through. But I'm not really confident in that. We don't have enough money to invest into anything yet, which can be a bit concerning, so I'm really not going to touch anything with that for now. Now it's July. Ooh. Yes, I know. Ooh. 22nd, better than original target. 3rd. Keep up the good work. That'll be 25 laps, so gonna be risky. Soft and medium, which means there's going to be a bit of durability. We can probably focus on keeping our cars up to lap 12, 13, somewhere around that. Okay, this is funny here. Jessica Legg says we have a very healthy balance sheet, only because we managed to get green again. Mechanics and technicians who work within the HQ are really happy to know that you got your hand on the tiller and we're prepared for any financial crisis which might come. Meanwhile, from the chairman's office, he's saying that he spotted a number of transactions coming out of the account, which I find concerning. If the spending pattern continues, you are likely to be very low on cash by the end of the season. Keep your eyes on it. Yeah, about that, Chairman. About that. That nosedive because of the investment into the road car factory really ate through our finances, but I think it's much better than actually wasting it all. We got... Oh, I don't like this. This usually means we're going to finish really bad, which means we'll definitely have to use some restarts for this leg. Okay, now we're in Munich. Unfortunately, it's only Trans-Antarctic that give us green, so I think we can try it here, and then we'll restart, reloop, until we get the actual results we want, which is a bit of a risk factor, all things considered, especially since Munich is a stock mode, or a stock circuit. Engines won't be really important right now. And the main issue here is that there is going to be a lot of running here. Did our parts go there? All of our parts are improved, right? Yes, they're all improved. Probably focus on getting these fixed up later, just so Leg can have some practice in. And what? Her stats dropped. What the heck's going on? She was only at 3, right? Well, let's get to it. If things go weird, we're going to restart anyway, so... Right, let's get on with it. Feedback 15, feedback 18. It's going to be an acceleration-based run, so I think we should focus on getting a bit more oversteer, a bit more downforce. Hang on. Alright, let's go for medium. And now we go into practice. Let's see if we can actually get this right. I feel like we can't. So let's go and pray that we get everything right on the first go. Otherwise, we'll definitely have to worry about restarts again. Again, we're focusing on the slower tires first so that we'll get the most out of them for endurance while getting a bit of speed. Then we can use the faster tires towards the end of the race. Though there might be a chance that I'll switch over to using the faster tires at the start of the race so we can get some gaps in, and then we'll probably go for speed, or rather going for endurance towards the end. But that, of course, requires that we can gauge when we should be switching. That's the main issue. Unless we can tell when we should switch out the tires, we won't be able to effectively apply the proper lap, or rather, proper pit stop strategy for this one. And remember, we're going to be starting the race with with only a fraction of the fuel we actually need. That makes the car a bit lighter, but that also puts us at risk of running out of fuel at the worst possible time, so we have to make a proper balance. Remember, it's 25 laps too, which means that we might have to just go for 20 laps on fuel total, or maybe not, since the total fuel size isn't exactly equal to the total number of laps we have. Which is why it's a splash and go thing. Ooh, Monk going with some pretty nice numbers there. I feel like we're gonna drop here. Even with Jordanfish getting some purples on that one. Race trim is now at level 1. Feel like Monk's gonna jump in soon. There's Gulyas at second. Monk at third, surprisingly. Now, Arielena is down to fourth, but she's still doing pretty decently. Oh, she's now down to fifth. Pichen is scoring second, but she's 2 seconds. Oh, she's only 2/200ths of a second ahead. Oh, Bingham now snatching first, a tenth of a second ahead of Judovic now. But the setup knowledge is actually pretty decent as we approach 7 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on practice. Kostrop now in 6th. Ariolena going down rather rapidly. We're gonna have to bring her in now. Looks like it's gonna be wet for the rest of the race, so we're gonna be switching over to inters for this one. Too bad we can't get it up to level 2, but we could probably still do it in a bit. They just need to get to level 2, and then we'll switch over to some wet tires in the inters. Judovich has gone down to 4th because of that. At least get us to level 2 on the or the mediums, please. It's going to be really wet for the last half of practice, though, which is going to be a problem. I don't think we're going to get a level 2. Which is a shame, really. But we could probably do it in 1 lap, though. Handling still needs a bit. Oh, there you are. Sorry about that. That was on me. Well, I got a little too excited and hit my desk. We kind of shook the tower a bit, and it dislodged a couple of cables or some shit. No, probably not the cables. Probably got, I don't know what got shaken, but it caused my PC to hang, so to speak, and that pretty much killed the stream. So, oh man, I'm pretty much out of it. Anyway, that at least gives us a bit more of a chance to get back into Munich. We've selected our sponsors and the parts for this one, so we can probably restart that. Hopefully, no need to worry about wet roads anymore. So if we do have to, I'd prefer if it was the start of the race, or the start of practice, rather. I'm gonna keep my legs away from the table now, just to avoid getting another knock in. It's going to be acceleration, a bit of oversteer, and lots of angles on the suspension. Not suspension, the arrows. So go for medium tires again. Remember that. Guess when I'll upload this archive, I'll just put them as part 1 and part 2. I don't think there's a need to edit anything. Just make it a bit towards acceleration, soften up the handling, make it a bit more downforce focused, and then switch to mediums. Alright, let's try this again. This time, no need to worry about the weather, right? It's gonna be sunny at least. I should really think about looking for more stable placements for my tower. CPU case more like. Not much of a tower, to be honest. Anywho, let's see how things go from here. So far, decent, I think. Ariolena seems to be getting more out of her feet, setup knowledge, though. Which could be nice. Oh, I can click on that. Didn't know that. Doesn't do anything, though. So far, so good on the outlap. I don't see any complaints from either of them yet. Never mind. Gearing seems just right here, which means there's still a little more work that needs to be done for Drodovish. And now we go on a flying lap. Your racers are just right. I don't like these Goldilocks responses. I feel like there's still a lot more work that needs to be done when they say that. That purple sector is not gonna last for long, I feel like, especially with Goliath's right. Expected as much. Well, surprisingly, it's a bit slower still. Might get through fastest sector on this one. There's knowledge unlocked. Drodovish snatches first, but Goliath is definitely looking to get second. Yep. We're getting it up there. Now he is first. 0.5 of a second ahead. 8 minutes in, it looks like everything seems to be okay as far as setups are concerned for both of our drivers, although their times aren't exactly reflecting that. Cardenas up on first now, snatching that for Ozu. Okay, improve the handling for Drodovish. I'll send her in first. Ariolena can still run a bit more. Or maybe we can keep them driving until their stints are over. Never mind. Bring them on both. We're going for inters now, annoyingly. Right, her handling is only okay, which means we can soften it up. No, make it harder, maybe? Then switch her up to inters with this one. Well, Adiolinit needs a bit more work on the arrows, it looks like. Bit more? Maybe a little less arrows. Switch her out to inters as well. Too bad we can't go up to level 2 for both for the for the medium tires. Taking a while for both of them to come out. 6 and 45 left on the clock, and the road is now very damp. If things go like this in the actual race, there's a good chance we'll have to worry about wets. Weather says that it's going to be raining until at least the last 3 minutes so far. That's going to be a problem. At least get us to level 3 race trim. That should be enough for now. And Judovic going for some pretty good runs on that one. Too bad Adiolinit is blocking her way. Downforce is now off. Dang it! So we really need to adjust the downforce a bit closer to... Probably there. Somewhere around that, maybe. Keep the same inters. Judofish will have to carry this on her own, and now race trim is at level 2. Only 4 and 45 left to get that to level 3 at the very least, and get intermediate tires to a bit higher sheen. So they only got until the last 3 minutes before things have to switch back out, and I don't think we can get that up. Tire wetness is going to be a real issue now. 1 more minute before the tire wetness goes down. Though probably we can keep the inters until the end of the practice session. Probably. Perfect gear ratios. You say that and then you give me yellow responses. Or green, rather. No, not green. Yellow-green. There we go. They say perfect gear ratios, but when you enter the pit stop, you'll only get yellow-green markings on your cars. Yep, the rain has stopped. What the heck is wrong with you? Judovic still in 7th for this one. Balkan currently on top. 2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining, and we still have to focus on fixing Adiolinit's downforce. And we need that because Perez is currently on top, currently in the top list of riders, and we want to keep her there. While Judovic tries to get back in, so we can get some good scores towards the end of the season. Alright, knowledge on the race trim is now back up on the old stuff. Downforce is now very poor. We got 1:20 to try and get things back up to snuff. Use this, then bring the downforce back down a bit further there. Balance. Get a bit softer. That should be enough. And go back to medium tires. Could probably get something out of that, right? We've still got a minute 19. See if we can get Judovic up just a bit. Now 42, 41, 40, 40 seconds. I don't think Judovic has enough time to get back in. 30 seconds. Yeah, nah, she won't be able to get in here. He's got greens though, which I think that would be nice. So let's just get the tires back up. Put her back to her mediums. At least get her some run time out of that. 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Dang it. He's finished. Adiolenet will finish 8th. Judovic will finish 7th, and we can't get any more points up for medium tires on this one. Such a shame. Well, can't really do anything about that. I guess we'll have to do another restart with this one. 10:34. I probably have enough time for that. Okay, now she's got all greens. That's reassuring. Hopefully we can actually transform that into actual points for the run. We're still running. Oh, it's Golias. Gears are just right. They're both happy so far, but definitely lots of work to be done with that. Hornblad doing some pretty good stuff there. Ooh, 900ths of a second behind, pretty close. Octane doing well in practice. Let's see if that translates to the actual race. Remember, it's second or above, and we're not exactly rolling in hot right now. Weather seems to be okay, so I think we can focus on getting the mediums up. Go for medium and race trim as well. The main issue here is that running on 25 laps, remember? Now, the maximum fuel we can carry is 20, but since we're pitting around probably lap 12 or lap 13 if we're lucky, I think we can focus on giving these guys just 15 laps worth of fuel. Should be enough to get them back in the, keep them in the good pace. But if things change around and we have to restart, probably see if we can get anything else done properly. Can go for full or rather high engine mode at least. And then we can push the tires a bit further if we manage to keep it close to the pit time that we need. So for now, let's go with it. Ooh, good jump from Judovic, just couldn't follow through because Bingham was in front of her. Could have gotten away from the top, from the upper, or from the lower ends, from the lower half. Ooh, what was that with the overtake? Golias up to 13th, taking the outside corner, which was undefended, and now he's got past Judovic and Bingham to boot, and even going past Hornblad. Bit of a traffic jam. Perez now in the back, as she is currently, how shall we say this? Where is she in the standing? She's currently second behind Golias with 15 points. Or 13 points, rather. And the tires seem to be a little too cold. That's not a problem so far. So long as we can keep both of our drivers rolling. I forgot to set the ERS again. Now Judovic is down to 13th as Norland gets ahead of her. Probably use some more running out of this one. Coming out of the home corner. Judovic goes back up to 12th. Nope. There's everybody, almost everybody with the ERS run. And we can play tactical with Drudovic here. Oof, a little too much, a little too early on the energy push there, and now Drudovic is down to 16th. Everybody else going for speed, as they know this is going to be a one-stop race. Let's see if we can actually repeat the tactic we did last time. Drudovic with an outside corner, scanning or snatching 15 from Kostrup, but Kostrup is definitely going to get this back, as the overtake was a little too close for comfort. Drudovic snatches it again and now gets some space in thanks to an inside corner overtake. And now we're approaching the home chicane, and Drudovic might have not a home chicane, home hairpin. And now Drudovic is getting left behind in the straights. 23 laps to go. Funker is now on top. De Silva Mello gets overtaken by Ramsey. 0.2 of a second ahead of De Silva Mello there. Funker just 0.7 of a second ahead. We're hitting the ERS at the wrong spots. Both of our drivers way behind at the start of lap 3. I can't tell if this is sandbagging or we're pretty much just, well, underpowered for this race. There's Drudovic keeping 15th away from Kostrup. Still having trouble getting past Mock now. Perez trying to get into the heat of things as we start lap 4. Now, Drudovic almost got away, but she couldn't brake late enough, as now Kostrup is ahead of her. And things are starting to get really squishy here in the mid-pack, or lower mid-pack, rather. And there goes Balkan getting ahead of Drudovic on that slow corner again. We're struggling here in Berlin, or in Germany right now. Drudovic definitely needs a bit more work with accelerating here. While Perez is still in the back, it looks like we might have to push them a bit now on the tires, just so they can heat them up a bit more. Drudovic once again in 17th, just before the start of lap 5, mostly because Balkan was there. Perez still in 19th, can't get past Reeves. Drudovic with a crazy outside overtake. Really bad option there. Up on top, Funker and De Silva Mello still on top, but Funker has now gone 4 seconds ahead of De Silva Mello. Willis and Chu have climbed up a bit. There's Perez getting ahead of Reeves. This is going to be a bit of a slow and steady overtake. Too many corners. We can't really use the ERS to power through for a straight that much, especially since both of our drivers seem to have issues with braking and cornering. Drudovic almost getting past Balkan, but blocked by Kostrup. And she's now back to 16th though. Perez just couldn't get past the traffic, and now she's back in 18th. Drudovic has gone down to 16th. Kostrup still blocking her. So much traffic that both of our drivers just cannot overtake decently enough. And now Perez is blocked by Monk. Drudovic is up to 17th again, but definitely needs a bit more work to get back into things. Now we're starting lap 7, and now both of our drivers are back still. Definitely needs a bit more work just to get back into the heat of things here. Drudovic can't catch energy fast enough, which is a bit of a shame. Yep. Definitely will look at a restart by the looks of it. Now both of our drivers are below 60% on tire durability here. Much worse than the competition, even with the mediums. A lot of soft tires about to be chewed out up front, however, so there's a good chance we can stay in this. We just need to push the tires up a bit hotter once we go halfway through the last cold marker. There's Judovic down to 17th. Blocking her teammate for some reason. And now Perez is now back to 19th because Conclave took an overtake on her. We're about to see some pit changes in a couple of laps, it looks like, which could give us a chance to close in with the leaders and snatch some leads up. There's just too much traffic here in the back. We can't really power through with the ERS because there's just too much traffic blocking the way, and overtaking like that is going to be insanely difficult. Now we're starting lap 9. Both of our drivers now below 50% on the tires. And the original leader, original second placer, De Silva Mello, goes for a pit stop pretty early. That's Smock now in 16th. Judovic still in 15th. Still no sign of an overtake change up front. What? Oh, I thought I was hearing rain. Yes, we're going to be okay about the fuel. Don't worry about it. Perez really can't get into it, though. While Judovic still struggling to get past 15. We're seeing some pit changes now as the original leaders have switched over. With the start of lap 10, and our tires are seeing some pretty nasty wear now. We might have to send Perez in a bit too early. Judovic is now up to 6th. Ooh, Fexala is up front. Kostrop is now blocking her. Times it. Look, I would really appreciate if we can at least get both of our drivers in the scoreboard. Even if we don't meet the sponsor objective right now, I'd be okay. But probably we will need that sponsor objective just so our marketing can improve even further. Now that's Judovic getting ahead of Kostrop, who's now going for a pit change. Now Judovic is up 3rd. Balkan is a full second ahead of our driver. That's Perez coming in for 5th. Couldn't get past Monk though, and the Ultra BMR drivers are keeping our drivers away from each other. Perez now down to 30%. She can probably go for another, or she can probably pit a bit later, or a bit earlier. Judovic definitely needs to stay in the lane for at least 2 more runs, though. Come on, Judovic. Judovic! Judovic about to be overtaken. She needs to jump off ahead now. Ooh, a bit of a traffic jam between Balkan and Ramsey. Judovic couldn't take advantage of that. We're seeing some tire wear now. Perez will have to switch out soon. At the start, or probably at the start of lap 12. I think we'll have to make do with keeping her in mediums just so she can run for a bit more. 13 laps, front wing. 18 seconds there. I don't think we can go for... Yeah, we can't go for a fast one. 33% chance of mistake, so we'll probably stick to slow. Probably stick to safe. Perez now in 4th. Judovic in 2nd. Definitely gonna need some more work out for her, as she's now down to 2.5 laps of fuel remaining, which means she'll have to pit after Perez has gone on her own. That's Mark going for a pit change as well. Vulcan probably still in it. As long as we can keep the other drivers away from us, we're good. Have to push that a bit. Bit risky. Yeah, let's go for endurance over speed. Keep it balanced. Let's hope we don't run into any issues with that. And keep it neutral again. There goes Perez. She's now in 7th. Probably going further lower. Yep. There was a mistake in the tires, though, which is going to hurt her numbers. She's now 19th. Not good. We'll definitely have to do a restart here. Unless we can keep our unless we can keep Watson Industries in 2nd at the end of this race. But that's going to be a pipe dream if we can't switch fast enough. Come on, Drudovic, get ahead! No, we won't be able to get ahead here, I'm afraid. As our pit crews are pretty slow. I'm afraid they're pretty dang slow. Drudovic is now down to 8th. Well, we still have enough speed to get into it, though. Oh, now she's down at 10th. Can't get past Mark, it says. Optimal temperature now, so I think we're still pretty good on that front for the tires. As long as we can get both of our drivers back up, we're good. There goes Drudovic attempting an outside overtake, but only finishing it on the straights. Perez still back in the 19th because of that mistake. I don't think she can get back into things unless we can push Archer out of the way in the next 11 laps, which is a bit of a rough patch. Concliffe now in the pit change. And we overtake her. Yes, we can. Now Concliffe is down to 14th. Or make that 15th as Chu gets ahead of her. She's going down to 16th as well as the Silva Mello gets ahead of her now. Drudovic still in 8th. Perez still in 19th. We need to get our drivers back up soon. What time is it? So much time. Might have to get some pushing out for Perez there. She's now up to 18th, ahead of Norlin. 10 laps to go. Durability and performance are our main concerns here. If we can keep our drivers rolling decently, we might be able to get back into it, and we might be able to get a sponsor objective. That's Perez jumping up ahead of 2 drivers. Let's see if Drudovic can get back into things here. We need that sponsor bonus so we can get some more money injected into the team. Stripes. Really slow braking at the chicane, which is a problem for Drudovic, and which leaves are open for interceptors coming in from outside. Perez still stuck in 16th. I don't think we're going to be seeing any changes at front unless these soft tire users will switch out before the 9 laps are over. A bit too early on the power usage there. Perez still struggling, and now she's down to 17th. on. Too many corners and hairpins to worry about. But we can't really boost our cars fast enough. Not enough in terms of straightaways, and there's also not enough energy to gather. 8 laps to go. We're still technically 20th, but Octane Racing is now gonna grab first unless we can push him out of the way. Perez has gone up to 15th. Could still use a bit more power though. Not really happy with the performance so far. Although I could be rolling a bit better there. Judovic needs to get into the scoreboard at least, so we can get both of our drivers up. We can probably stay within Octane Racing's scoring range if we can get both of our drivers rolling. Come on. She's not really good at overtaking too, which is annoying. 7 laps to go. Judovic struggling on the outside overtakes, and she's about to lose her spot if she leaves her rears to Reeves. Yeah, Perez can't get up fast enough, which is bad. Judovic can't get enough energy as well. Mazzoncini might be switching out soon, though. So is Gulias. Cardenas definitely looking at probably 3 more laps before he switches out. Really just can't get enough power to go. With the lack of straights out here. Oop! Almost. Judovic just couldn't get enough speed on that one. Can she overtake here? Nope, she cannot. A bit too early on the braking means Judovic let the chance to get ahead pass her by. And now... well, Perez jumps up to 14th over there after those pit lane changes. Gulias has switched out rather quickly and is now second, but Funker is still 4 seconds ahead of him. Da Silva Mello with some serious problems in the back there. Oh, it looks like somebody had a problem. Pizzani had a corner issue. Meanwhile, Judovic might be able to get past Mazzoncini on this one as he is now planning for a pit change. Oh! Looks like Pizzani seems to have gotten away with that corner, and the race director says it's fine. Lormore has crashed! Oh, that's not good. That's gonna put Garuda Racing at odds. And possibly dropping them to 6th in the team standings. Judovic now trying to keep Reeves away from her. As she gets past Mazzoncini. Can she stay at it? 5 laps to go. And she's still at 57% tire performance. I think we can afford to keep her there. Perez is now in 12th. We're still in we're still in 2nd overall, but we need to perform better than this. Oof, I used the ERS before chicane. That's not good. Probably afford to push the tires a bit more on Judovic's side of things. Now she's up to 6th. I'm seeing Picerni looking for a pit change. 4 laps remaining. Okay, let's let the tires rest a bit. Judovic is now 3rd. We just need to get past Balkan, who is unfortunately 5 seconds ahead of us, so we can at least get into the sponsor objective. Perez is now 9th. We're gonna use every bit of ERS we can grab. Perez backing up to 8th. I think we can afford to push the tires a bit more, question mark. No, getting too far. He's still too far. I don't think we're gonna get the sponsor objective, but we can at least get some points up, right? Three laps to go. Jodafish can afford to push the tires a bit more. Perez cannot. So we need to work our way up soon. Now it's Funker blocking Jodafish, or Perez rather. Balkan is still a few seconds away. I don't think we can make it to the sponsor objective at this rate. Unless for some reason Balkan switches out, which is very unlikely, even at this late in the game. Balkan still has 26% on his tires, and I don't think he can. I don't think he'll have to worry much about that. Come on, man. 2 laps to go. Tire's still pretty decent so far. But I don't think we're gonna make it to the sponsor objective at this rate. Yep, he's down to 23. We'll probably push up to overtake once he's down a bit more. If he goes down to 18%, there's a good chance we can actually snatch an overtake here. But, oh, down to 2 seconds, actually. Okay, make that 3. Still a bit of a doozer over here. Approaching the last lap, there's still a chance. Is there still a chance? No, he's still got 20% on his runs. Can probably push a bit more, but we're not exactly lucky into that. At the very least, we got a podium finish here, and both of our drivers are probably going to be both in the scoreboard. Hopefully, unless Perez has trouble getting past Kostrop, which is very unlikely. No, I don't think Perez is going to be able to get past Kostrop here. Balkan is now down to 18% on his tire. Jurovic still has a good amount on hers. Nope, unfortunately, Perez is now down on the count. She won't be able to get anything. Yep, she is now down to 8th. And Jurovic will have to sell for 3rd as Balkan manages to defend his spot. Unless... No. Jurovic was a bit too slow on the overtake, and well, we'll have to make do with that. Whoa. Well, we're gonna miss the sponsor objective, but at least we keep our 2nd place finish, and Perez goes for 8th. Kind of pushed the car a bit too late there, but still, we managed to get through. Really close there. Very, very close. But we'll have to sell with that, and unfortunately, we're gonna we're gonna go back in the red again because we missed the sponsor objective. Dang it! Unless somebody has some mistakes, which I doubt there will be. Yeah. Oop, nope, Pichani, that gets a penalty, and she goes down to 12th. That's a bad run there because of that drive-through penalty. Got 3rd for Jurovic now. That's her 2nd podium finish in her 2nd third run. Jumps her up to 6th place, while Perez drops down to 3rd. But nonetheless, that gives us a good amount of points. We are now 24 and have secured 2nd place. Although we're 20 seconds behind Octane Racing. Jurovic will be happy with that finish, despite the fact that we did struggle catching up to 3rd. And I guess I guess that would be enough. I might have to change the tile here since we did not do any restarts. And the chairman will still be happy that we managed to finish second. Yeah, good stats all around. Good stats growth, all things considered. I think they can afford this. Although, yeah, we're still in the green. That's the good thing. Fortunately, it looks like that bit of a bump over there is a sign that we'll have to call it in for the night, maybe. Or we could probably go for one more race. Let's go for one more race. See if we can actually have this. Or maybe not. I don't know. What time do we start? We start. Let's look at the news. 37:35. Not bad. Okay, what do you want, Chief? Whatever seems nice. No complaints from Perez there since she's got the mentor run up. One mistake. Thankfully, it wasn't super dangerous, but we could have gotten better a better spot for Perez if that mistake did not happen. She's still having a lot of trouble getting that pit stop set up high, but at least she's now up to halfway in 5, right? I wonder if I could probably hire Murasugi so we can get some decent stats on him, but it'll cost us $9,000, and I don't think I can afford that. Our stats are really bad. Well, I can't really do much about that. 31 weeks to go for the road car factory. Do I really want to? I feel like I kind of lost my ride on Vibe because of that early bump on the PC, so I feel like I'm going to have to call it in for tonight. Thank you so much for joining in. Sorry that this last run had a bit of a hiccup because of that mistake that I had. That was on me for being a little too excited while playing. Should have should have made this a continuous stream, but well. Yeah, it goes to show you shouldn't be you shouldn't be sitting with your legs crossed, well, under a computer table, especially if your PC case is very unstable. That's something to note for next time. Anyway, for the time being, if you got any complaints or violent reactions about the stream tonight, please do not hesitate to drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixiv. If you got a hankering for older streams that have already expired here on Twitch, I would really appreciate it if you check the VOD archive linked in the About tab of my profile page. Speaking of my profile page, if you got a speaking of my profile page, you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream, I would be grateful if you can share my channel with them. Twitch.tv/lurk at work. That's all from me for now. Tomorrow we could probably continue this and attempt to get more points, and then we'll definitely start using the time loop if we fail, just so we can build up some more money. But we'll just have to see if things actually improve from here on out. Anyway, Lurk at Work is now RTB. If you're still in the mood for some streaming, I can send you over to Atya Tepes, who's currently doing some vintage story. Classic first-person Minecraft clone, I think. Might be some interesting builds that you can find there. So if you're up for it, I can send you over there late in a bit. But if you're heading out for the night, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night, everybody, and stand by for those who are about to be sent over.